Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to our Women Tech Makers and Google Developer Group event from classroom gaps to industry skills, led by TeachTech founder Deepam. Before we go any further, I want to say a big thank you to all the co-organizers that are sharing this event in their chapter. And here you can see all the chapters participating. Thank you again. And this evening, we are exploring a critical question that impacts so many of us. How do we effectively prepare the next generation for the real world challenges and opportunities for a career in technology? To guide us throughout this important conversation, we are honored to have a speaker who is not just an educator, but a seasoned industry veteran who has lived this topic from the inside out. So allow me to introduce the founder of TeachTech, Deepa. With over 14 years of hands-on experience in tech industry, Deepa has built an impressive career leading global teams and driving quality for complex software in web, mobile, and even healthcare systems. She has been in the trenches, building technical frameworks from the ground up and working closely with the cross-functional teams to deliver high-impact products. It is from this unique vantage point, seeing firsthand what skills truly led to success, what she identified the persistent gap between academic knowledge and industry needs. So she saw an opportunity to do more than just building software. She wanted people. Driven by this vision, she founded TeachTech to create a bridge for students, blending academic support with the practical, collaborative, and leadership skills that the modern workforce demands. She is here today to share her invaluable insights and powerful story behind the TeachTech approach. Join me now in giving a warm virtual welcome to Deepa. The floor is yours. Let me unshare my
Wow.
screen.
Thank you so much, Linda. Of you. Thank you so much for a very, very beautiful intro. I am so honored to be here. Linda being my very best buddy. I adore her for a lot of her. She's for those of you who do not know her, man, she's super, super thorough. I get a lot of
Thank
inspiration from her. So um, I just wanted to ask the audience, how many of you are parents, are students, and are why are you here? That's my very first question to you all would be like, why are you here? What are you trying to? I'm trying to get my slides here. Give me 1 second. That was a super warm welcome. So I'm not going to talk too much about myself. So can you all see my screen? Right? Cool? Good. So I picked this from idea to impact and crafting the youth-led learning community in tech. So why did I pick this? I will tell you, you will come to know when I gradually talk through this. So before we get started myself, Linda has given me a beautiful intro. I started this off, I had this thought around last year um, to start something new. So my name is Deepa Subramanian, and I've been in the industry for 15 years, not 14. I've been around for a while. So I've also built communities. I've also given talks. So that's something I'm very, very passionate about. I love helping people, and I love to be a mentor too. So teaching is something that I'm very passionate about, and that's one of the reasons that TeachTech also was born. So tell me, who are you? Why are you here? If you are a parent, student, educator, or someone who's just curious. I'm not talking anything technical today, no technical talks about anything. But if you are here, I would love to see who are you, student. Okay, Linda, of course, Dino is. But those of you who are here, I would love to know um, what made you come here? Your parent. Nice. Thank you so much, Carol. So those of you here who are here, you are here for a reason, right? And education is changing. That's true, Carol. Working professional, researcher, good. You're no, you're just probably Shishir. I'm not sure if you know about the school systems here, but I will walk you through this. So um, I know if you're here, I'm not going to be talking anything about technical, but I wanted to start off. So first off, I would love to talk about the problems that we currently have, right? So in the US, how many of you know that kids can take college level courses in their high school itself? Because from where I was born, from where I am from, it's all predominantly only school curriculum based ones, right? So the problem here is uh, the kids who are wanting to go to college, they not only need academic excellence, but they also need something else. They need community work. They need to have done hackathons if they are planning to get into computer science, I'm talking about, and a couple of internships and whatnot, right? So, and these internships are super hard to get, right? So the problem was my son is also a high schooler. He is junior year, which is 11th grade in the US. So I watched him last, I think in the break, during the winter break, or even before last summer, he was trying for a lot of internships and couldn't get in anywhere. There are different programs for high school students. If you look for youth internships or high school internships, you will find a lot. But then there are some elite places like Harvard has something, MIT has something, Berkeley has something, and you need to understand that not every kid who applies gets it. Even the topmost top would not get it. The application process is so competitive that it's hard to even get through this, right? And and on top of that, what schools often taught is is also not enough for what the industry is looking for, and that too in this AI era, right? So this is something that I saw a problem. And as a mother, it all started as a I will be very honest with you. It all started with a selfish notion. I would be like, what can I do to make sure that my kid is successful? And there are a lot like my kid, right? So Dino is here. He was in our summer program. And um, there are a lot more kids. It's like two-thirds of the kids, even the, you know, good ones, or kids who are straight A's, 4.0 for GPAs, don't get those internships. So this merely started as, what can I do to help kids, right? That was my only thing. I know what I have. I have the skills of building a community, and I have the tech experience. But if you ask me, I can teach too, right? So with what I have, what can I do, right? That was my question I had to keep asking myself. Then came this vision that I would say that I wanted to build something peer led. That means that a kid can, teach other kids. Or how do you think back in your days, that how did you learn effectively? A friend of you talking to you before the exam or while you're preparing. That's how a lot of my friends, when I was studying, my area is not computer science at all, guys. So my academically, my degree is totally different, but I can retain a lot when a friend of mine explains something. So that thing always works. So I wanted something with peer led, right? And I wanted to be inclusive. There are a lot of boot camps that are very specific to genders, but I wanted the vision for TeachTech is it should be inclusive to all. It should be inclusive to all genders, and because they're all going to be in the workforce together later in their life, right? So, and also, I wanted to also make sure that it should be industry aligned. We don't want it to be like a tutoring center, right? I personally think that there are a lot more tutors out there who can teach very well too, right? So these were my vision. With that, our mission is it is built on an inclusive peer-to-peer learning community where passionate students teach other students and creating to tech careers through skill-based learning. How do we do that, right? That is also coming up. So the school gives us something, but there's a lot of things that the industry need. How do we, make sure that the future software engineers are aligned with the industry, right? That's another thing. With that, TeachTech was born, and then that was our mission. So when I was thinking about how can students gain future-ready skills while they're also excelling academically, right? So this was my thought process because I was very clear that I don't want it to be another tutoring center. No. So um, so what should I do something different? Because if you go ahead, if you see there are so many tutoring centers which are taught by adults, and even peer-to-peer tutoring is always one-on-one too, right? So that's another thing in terms of academic, and how do we make them future ready in this AI era? And if you are if your kids are taking any computer science courses at school, then the current ones are all probably the very, very fundamental ones, I would say. So, but we need to make them future ready. How do we get there? So we have to we have to get there somehow, right? So my approach was, okay, there's a lot of kids who need academic support too, because without the foundation, they cannot get ready for the future, right? So we introduced something called as peer-to-peer learning, where a high schooler or a kid who has already taken these, for those of you who knows this AP, that's what the in American school systems call this as advanced placement test, which is like a college degree credits. There are a couple of courses that they teach it at school itself. So these subjects, they can take it as in their high school days itself. So the academic support is based on very similar to not tutoring. I would say it's going to be a work, or it's going to be like a small cohort with 4 to 6 kids, and then it will be like a group study, right? And it'll be it'll be led by a student who has recently aced the exam with a 4 or 5. And why this approach, right? There are a lot of tutoring centers too, right? Why this approach is one, tutoring centers, if you go to, normally it's taught by adults, right? They know the content very well. However, they do lack the preparation for the exam. They know the content very well, for sure, but then they don't know how to make these kids exam ready, right? That's totally two different skills. It's like the tech stack, but you also have to know how to interview for a software engineering role, right? You need to do lead code grinding, you need to do behavioral, you need to do system design and all those things, right? So this is very similar to that. So I was trying to give an analogy. So academic, there's a concept understanding is different from that of getting ready for the AP exam. So that's why the academic approach is this way. And it will, in TeachTech, we want only kids to be teaching other kids. So all US high school students who have aced their exams last year, they could come teach. So provided no provided we have a lot of enrollments too, right? And then on the other hand, how do we make them industry ready, right? Uh, you know, these kids during our summer program, I found that kids learn very well through hands-on. So this is another reason we wanted to introduce more hands-on project-based learning. And this will be mostly led by industry professionals, and it will basically focus on what the real world is solving, right? For example, if you have to, now AI does a lot of stuff, but you can do from designing to deployment to even you know going through the entire cycle of software development. AI can do Claude. No, I recently watched Claude full stack, how it can build a full stack application, right? So it can do that. However, you need to know certain things, right? Claude can give you, okay, can I do a git commit or can I merge it? So you need to know what these kids needs to know what these things are, right? So without knowing the fundamentals, even with AI tools, it's not going to help them. So the industry has right now the school education system and the industry needs, there's a huge gap. So my aim is to at least get these kids to understanding what are these tools, how are they used, and slowly when they go to college they are going to learn more. However, we want to make sure that they take that path, they're ready, right? And with more hands-on, when they get more hands-on, they get they can do more hackathons or build more projects, and then that also adds value to their college application too, right? So this is this is the approach that I felt like it is very step based, it's very systematic. Yes, it is not the top notch AI stuff right now, but then the schools are not even ready for those tech yet, right? And with policies and other things, if I have a video on my YouTube channel as why we do this, how we are doing this and all. And I gave a lot of statistics too around how many schools um, are the thing is, in the US, computer science is optional. It's not even mandatory. So whereas a lot of other countries, computer science is becoming, it is mandatory from primary school to secondary school. So if you take China, Australia, India, and all those, a lot of places, it's becoming a foundation, along with all other essential courses that they take, right? So, but in the US, it is an optional. But you need to understand that when we are in a big wave right now, because who knows who has ever used Netscape or seen the very first Internet Explorer browser? Hey, do you guys have ever seen dial-up modem? No, nobody. So we had the internet boom, right? And um, then came the mobile phones. 2004, 2000, I think 2003, 2004. Apple came, right? So iPhone was the very first thing. Then came, there are so many innovations that has happened. You have social media, you have digital payments, digital content, and a lot more, like YouTube and other stuff. But now we are in a huge wave that AI is touching in all the industries, not only in tech. It is touching in finance, healthcare, name it. You even constructions, architecture, any part. It is touching on all the areas. Marketing, right? So even education. That's right. So that being said, I don't know. We are in a broken system in the U.S. It is very, I don't agree with why computer science is still a optional one. I understand that not every kid is, inclined to learn this. They don't have to learn programming per se, but that at least I think that they need to be aware of what is happening around this particular innovation, right? So that's one of the reasons we also have a community-based events under the innovation and projects as well. So this is going to be like those who wants to learn hands-on, they have an option. Those who are like, okay, I don't want to learn, but I just want to hear somebody talk about this thing, right? So I want to say, okay, somebody is interested in business, right? If we have a community event saying that a tech founder from probably an AI tech founder comes and talks. If they're interested, they can still attend, right? So that's one way of and it also helps these kids to decide whether computer science is really for them, right? So that is the main reason that imagine if they have to go to university and you're going to be spending about 350 to 400K for a degree. So and at the end, if they feel that, oh no, I don't want to, I majored in computer science, but I want to do arts, right? Not a problem. But then what happened to the 350K, right? At least they could have gotten themselves exposed earlier to figure out whether this is for them or not, right? So if you say, for an example, I talked to my son about this. So he's not into front end at all. For some reason, he doesn't like it, whereas I love the UI part of it. He doesn't, but he's like, okay, I love only the back end. So at least he knows what is it. But then this could change also over the course of time. So this way they get exposure. And that's the reason we approach it this way. And I also wanted to talk about why this peer-to-peer learning works, right? So when students teach students, like I said, it is relatable and explanation becomes easier if it comes from a peer perspective. It is also the kids who are learning from a peer feel safe to ask questions. So imagine if I teach and most kids don't even open their mouth and ask. They kind of go quiet. So maybe probably they will email or if they have any questions, but they are not open to even asking questions. Not every kid is like that. So when they are really, interacting with their peers, it helps them to learn better, right? And also the peer instructors through teaching, they develop this deeper understanding, and they also build the certain qualities, like they can plan their time very well. They can organize their what they are going to teach, right? They learn skills and to become a mentor early in the days, right? Early in their career, and they become confident once you start. How many of you do lead code in front of people, and then sometimes it doesn't ring a bell. You just get stuck and you're just thinking, right? So we did this during our summer program. We made all these kids do hands-on, and anybody has any issues, they have to share their screen right away. And even if it's the dumbest question, they have to ask, and they see, oh yeah, I missed a semicolon. Oh, you know what, I missed this. So they get that when they are in that environment, and they learn very well too. So this way they're building communication, collaboration skills, and they develop friendships early on. This is like a huge community that they can use advantage of. See, I just have a simple example. I think last week, our Instagram and Facebook, everything got suspended. So for a reason that for some false acquisition by somebody, and then I had I tried to appeal for it, and after one appeal, it just goes off, right? They don't activate your account again. So in my case, I had to reach out. I posted on LinkedIn, and then I did not even reach out to anybody. So I was like, what should I do? Right. So we have to move to a next platform. I kind of know I opened an account in Twitter. However, somebody, from previously that I worked with pinged me on LinkedIn saying that, hey, Deepa, how can I help? Right. That's the power of, collaboration, or the relationships that you form. I have worked with this person, and in the past reached out to me saying that I will definitely go ahead and request this internally. So this is something that you could start off early in your life, early in their lives, and it helps them to be in this path, and they can start the if they are around the safe network. And later tomorrow, this time you're somebody is coming and teaching with us, and then the next year, probably, who knows, if they are going to graduate, if they are graduating from high school and they go to a college and there they go for an internship, they come back and say, hey, Deepa, I want to lead this workshop, can I do that? Yes, they can, right? So this is like more of an opportunity for kids who can learn from other kids, and if they graduate also, there's a way that they can still be within the community. So with that said, what is the impact here? Their skills become stronger, they become more confident, and they know whether this thing works or not for them. It sets a clear path. Okay, there are kids here who took Java last time, and they felt like, oh my God, Java is very hard. I think I would stick on with Python. But then, at the same time, in the school curriculums, they teach the first one. No, there are a couple of courses that they do, and one is the computer science principles, and the other one is the computer science advanced. And I think I talked all about it in my YouTube channel. I'll share it at the end. So if they are wanting to go in one path, they can still do that. So based on that, they can do projects too. So we do have an open source that kids can take advantage, or even anybody can take advantage of, where they can come and write a blog, or write something, or do front end projects, and then probably collaborate. If you are a senior, if you're a software engineer already who is in the industry, you can help these kids. The reason why I say this is, later 5 years down the lane, you're going to hire these kids as interns. At that time, you'll be like, oh, you know what? It's very hard to get them to pace, and then get them to start learning stuff, and it becomes easier, right? For later hires to, when you know somebody, they can do it. It's easy, right? So that's another impact that the future can hold, right? So with that said, I'm almost done with this. What I would say that please join hands with us, and then we can bridge the gap. And these were our summer program last day. We took this picture. These are the kids that were there, and then it was 7 weeks intense. You were not there, Dino. That's why I had to. This is right before the graduation day. So all these kids, and the youngest one here was this kid. He was in the 8th grade. He was going into 8th grade. He was learning Python, and most of them were like super, super excited to do their AI chatbot, and understand these kids came with I would say that zero knowledge of even how to install Python. And I did not teach them, but then instructors Amy and Pranav taught, and they were there for all the 7 weeks. So it is something that these kids came out of, and they took advantage of our 7-week program, and they thrived. All their projects are there in our GitHub. And if you are interested, thank you so much for listening to me. Go to our website. Just before this call, I pushed something. I revamped the entire homepage. So I also added Instagram back, and then there's a Twitter one too. you can go take a look at their, I think if you go all the way at the bottom of the footer, you can see open source, and there is a GitHub link there. So you can see all their previous the projects that they did during the summer. So do join me on Discord. I'm always there. You can ping me anytime. Though sometimes I go invisible, but still I'm on. My phone is with me. So if anybody is interested, please connect with me. And if you have any questions, shoot out. I'm all ears. No questions?
I forgot I have to activate my presenter mode.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing in here. Okay.
So yeah, if anyone has any questions, you can raise your hand and I can make a presenter, or you can write it in the chat, and I will read it for Deepa and she can answer your questions. Thank you so much for the link in the chat.
I need to drop. Okay, no worries, Deepak.
Okay, so should we stop the recording and take a group picture? What do you think?
I'm sorry?
Should we stop the recording and take a group picture?
No worries.